Okay. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from today. I'm Joelle Yesbik, the Regional Coordinator at the ICC-ESCWA Centre of Entrepreneurship, and it's my honor to welcome you to today's roundtable on AI trends, government leadership, and private sector innovation. This event is organized by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, and the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Western Asia, ESCWA. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the difficult circumstances we are facing in Lebanon and across the region, in Palestine, Yemen, Sudan, and in Syria. We stand united against all forms of violence and the loss of human lives. While these times are challenging, we believe in the power of innovation and collaboration to build a brighter and more hopeful future. Today's event is a testament to our shared commitment to a better and prosperous world for all. Now, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed opening speakers, Ullas Marar, Head of the ICC Centre of Entrepreneurship, and Karim Hassan, the Executive Director of the ESCWA Technology Centre. Please join me in welcoming Ullas and Karim to the virtual stage to deliver the opening remarks. Over to you, Ullas.
Thank you, Joelle. Quick logistics check. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Perfect. Greetings to everyone. My name is Ullas. I head the ICC Centre of Entrepreneurship, which is a global initiative of the International Chamber of Commerce, or ICC in its abbreviated form. As we were waiting for this session to start, a lot of the conversation among all my fellow panelists were centered on the issue of where everyone is everyone safe? And I think we can all agree that that's far from ideal conditions for anyone to operate in. So let me just begin by saying that my thoughts are with everyone affected by the ongoing conflict. And yeah, very tough times. So I just hope for a very swift return to peace. I also want to take a moment to applaud my colleague Joelle, who is the regional coordinator of the ICC-ESCWA Centre of Entrepreneurship, for driving this intervention around the theme of artificial intelligence. I'll quickly talk a bit about ICC before we dive into the agenda. Based out of Paris, ICC is the institutional representative of more than 45 million companies around the world. I don't say around the world lightly, by the way. Our coverage spans 170 countries, so it's truly a global network. The work we do influences more than $17 trillion worth of trade annually. More specifically, the ICC Centre of Entrepreneurship is an initiative that helps our network partners, that is Chambers of Commerce and national ICC offices, build capacities and deliver more effective entrepreneurship support programs. This is done around two overarching themes, which is international trade and global competitiveness. We do this through three main points of value creation: the ICC brand itself, the knowledge that we have access to within the ICC universe and through our partners, and the networks we can activate globally for our partners. I'm going to conclude this short address by saying that working with ESCWA has been an opportunity that we deeply cherish. We try every day to build and scale the ICC Centre of Entrepreneurship in the region further. The roundtable today addresses a very important and relevant theme of how artificial intelligence affects the way small and medium enterprises work, how governments can deal with the technical, ethical, operational issues that emerge from the advances in AI. While on this issue, I encourage everyone to read through the ICC narrative on artificial intelligence, which touches upon four key pillars, which is the principles and code of conduct, the regulation, technical standards, and industry self-regulation. I'll share a link to the detailed narrative in the chat box. And with that, I'm going to pass on the mic to my colleague, Karim. Over to you, Karim. I look forward to the conversations today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ullas. Good morning or good afternoon to all the ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and honored guests. Yeah, it was really hard to keep this webinar on throughout the circumstances that we are seeing nowadays in the region. However, it's very crucial and important to keep going and keep working, especially now we are talking about AI and technology, and we see how these technologies can really save lives and take other lives as well. So it's very important for us to cope with the advanced technologies nowadays. So it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you in this insightful webinar on AI trends, government leadership, and private sector innovation, co-organized by the International Chamber of Commerce and the UN ESCWA, and hosted by the ICC-ESCWA Centre of Entrepreneurship. And as we see, like artificial intelligence has rapidly emerged as one of the most transformative forces of our time. Across industries, from healthcare to education, and from finance to agriculture, AI has the power to reshape how we work, innovate, and grow. Even at our home. So my wife is always consulting ChatGPT to recommend our outings and dinner recipes as well. But AI's true potential can only be realized through a collaborative ecosystem, one where governments, the private sector, and innovators and entrepreneurs as well work together to create environments that nurture innovation and ensure responsible deployment of these advanced technologies. At ESCWA, we are committed to promoting sustainable development through innovation, with a special focus on empowering small and medium enterprises, SMEs, and startups in the Arab region. Our DPAR, the Digital Enabling Platform for the Arab region, it's a website, and also the regional and annual Arab SME Summit. Both platforms are prime examples of how we leverage technology to provide AI-powered tools, capacity building, and business matchmaking services to entrepreneurs to enable them to thrive in a fast-evolving digital landscape. In this interesting forum, we will explore how governments can play a pivotal role by shaping policies that foster AI innovation and support ethical AI use. We'll also hear from the private sector on how businesses are investing in AI technologies to drive economic growth across the region and tackle global challenges like climate change and sustainable development. I encourage all of you to participate actively in today's discussions and share your insights on how we can advance AI ecosystems that benefit societies across the Arab region. Thank you very much, and I look forward to an engaging and fruitful session. Over to you, Joel.
Thank you both, Ulas and Karim, for setting the stage for what promises to be an insightful and engaging discussion today. I'd like to invite all our participants to introduce themselves in the chat box. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and feel free to share your LinkedIn profiles for networking. And if you have any questions during the sessions, please submit them in the Q&A box, and we'll do our best to address them. Before we move to the first session, I'd like to invite all speakers and moderators to kindly turn on their cameras so we can take a quick group photo. Okay, thank you. Let's kickstart our program with the first session of the day, Inspirational AI Trends and Success Stories. Moderating this session is Rudy Shushani, award-winning podcaster and technology strategist, as well as the founder of TX Talks. Rudy, over to you.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm really happy to be here today, and thank you for the invitation. Coming in the region, and we're seeing how the world is really changing as we are, progressing every day. It gives us a great pleasure to be, discussing that topic, especially under the entrepreneurship umbrella, because we really need entrepreneurs, and we really need that motive or the way entrepreneurs are really thinking, because this is where innovation is happening. This is where things are changing. Now, without further ado, let me do a small introduction on the topic, and then I will introduce my panelists also as we move all together. So today we're talking about inspiration trends, inspirational AI trends and success stories. We want to hear not just how strategies, how the world is, we hear a lot about AI, but we wanted to focus on actual implementations, actual success stories, and actual success stories coming from the private sector in specific. So when we talk about the world of AI, and then we've seen, I think we were super fortunate in the last couple of years to witness not just an evolution or a revolution in the world of AI, but actually to be able to see how the world is really changing. And for me, I don't want to look at today, sorry. I want to look at tomorrow and what's happening at tomorrow, and then how things are changing our lives, because it will touch every point of our lives. So if we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution, and then the elements of the fourth industrial revolution, which is coming for artificial intelligence, information, big data, IoTs, cloud, and then we started even hearing about the fifth industrial revolution, which is talking about people-centric, innovation. So we've passed along the last 100 years or so in terms of different evolutions that we have witnessed. And now we're talking about something totally different. It is a revolution by itself in a technological world. And most importantly, we need to back up that sustainable development. And then I think today, the only way, and what affirms my maybe commitments and affirms my my quote is the digital compact meeting that was done a few weeks ago, reaffirmed that I think the only way to push for SDGs 2030 today is by using more and more technological innovations to move forward. Otherwise, I think the agenda is going to be tackled. Now, we're not just talking about SDGs and protecting our lives on Earth. We are hearing it that we are going somewhere else, maybe to Mars, maybe other planets. I know this is a bit futuristic at this point of time, but this is where we have to start thinking also maybe for the human continuity. Now, when we talk about AI and so many other things, generative AI, as we have discovered in the last almost 2 years now, it has been the steam engine of that fourth industrial revolution. This is where things were possibly realized, and then we're moving forward across this whole thing using that generative wave. Also, there's no one sector that AI has not touched. If you look around you, you'll see, was it from climate to behaviors to education to business to transportation to cybersecurity to marketing, and so on and so on and so on. So we are really in the eye of the storm in terms of evolution. And if you look at the World Economic Forum, and then if you look at the top 10 technological emerging top 10 emerging technologies, especially in 2023, you can find that the next level automation process virtualization, future connectivity, disrupted infrastructure, next generation computing, applied AI, future of programming, trust architecture, industry specific trends, next generation material, future of clean technology. What's really common across all of those is purely AI. 8 out of the 10 next technological trends will be based on AI element. So again, it is touching everything that we know. That said, the contribution of AI to global economy is projected to be around $16 trillion. So if you put this by itself, you will understand how that global economy of AI alone is really something you have to think about, something you have to start venturing into if you didn't already. you have to start learning, you have to upgrade your skills, you have to move everything, all of your energy towards how future of AI is really pushing us. Even though, you know, we've seen a lot of trends, was it nascent or old, but AI has been there for more than 70 plus years now. But look what happened within the last 3 or 4 years. Generative AI by itself, it will generate between 2.6 and 4.4 trillion dollars across different industries, according to McKinsey's. So if you take just one part of this puzzle, it's already a big opportunity for us to venture and then start creating. The Middle East alone is venturing into $320 billion. That, you know, if you are based in the Middle East, look, you have an opportunity, so why not join that future revolution of things? Now, if you think in terms of perspective, NVIDIA, which is the leading AI manufacturer of AI products, is $2.7 trillion valuation versus Germany full economy. You know, that's a point where you have to really think about, could a company be valued in terms of GDP or stock or whatever more than a country? And if we combine even more countries, it will be even. That's the beauty of things, and that's the beauty of innovation and entrepreneurship, and, you know, going back to where they started. Now we are in a point of, I would say, change, point of transformation, humanity transformation. If we look at where we are currently in the artificial narrow intelligence, which is ANI, it's only specific one design or specific task. And then what's happening next is artificial intelligence, AGI, which can behave similarly to human, but the target is not to stop there. The target is to go to artificial super intelligence, which is even smarter than human. So that convergence of human and AI is a thing today. And then how we're gonna be coping with it, otherwise we will be disrupted. That's why we need innovation. That's why we need the human element to be at the core center of those technologies, not as peripheral. It's the core center. And with that, we need them to be able to help us innovate towards the future and protect human lives, most importantly. And this is where the merge is happening between humans and machine all together, trying to solve the bigger puzzles of humanity. Now, we think we are here on a pinnacle of AI evolution and so on, but in reality, we just started that AI pinnacle into something even more futuristic. And if we're talking about $16 trillion, I think we're talking in the near future, even with more opportunities. That's why we're going to be hearing a lot of, you know, use cases that the team will be here today talking and discussing, from government perspective, private perspective, health perspective, every single point of our lives. And then the emerging opportunities is AI integrated into everyday lives that we are dealing with. And this is the next evolution. Look at your smartwatch, look at your mobile, how decisions are being made. Healthcare, finance, retail, manufacturing, education, transportation, climate change, you name it. The biggest question, have you missed that bus of jumping onto the AI revolution? Not yet, but we're gonna be more and more focused toward this, and then more initiatives such as this ICC and ESCWA initiative. And I know ESCWA is working a lot on helping entrepreneurs and then pushing forward. So go ahead and jump on that bus and take it. Now, the most important part in everything that you do, and then we are seeing, and then I think the topic of today is ethics of artificial intelligence, because this is the next evolution of anything that will happen if we got the ethics right. And so far, we're not doing a great job. Everything will be done for disaster. So just imagine with me, that was 50 years ago. Look where technology is today. Just move forward and then try to really, innovate in your own space, depending on what you do. And we are available for you anytime if you'd like to discuss further. My name is Rudy Shushani. Join me. I would like to thank you. And now I will introduce quickly my panelists and then go on to the other ideas that we are discussing today. So without further ado, I'll be introducing two panelists directly. Dr. Rima Diab is the founder and CEO of Galaxy for Technology, an organization dedicated for empowering women, youth, and marginalized community through innovation technological solution. With over a decade experience as an AI strategist, she has pioneered AI advancement across sectors, including education, fintech, and government. Rima has partnered with leading global organizations like Google, Tesla, Alibaba, and the World Economic Forum, and has been recognized with multiple awards for her contribution of technology entrepreneurship, including prestigious King Abdullah II Medal for Excellence. And then I was proud when she received this award. That's one of unique opportunities that we all face. Yusuf Jalloul is a visionary leader with 19 years of profound experience in the tech industry as the founder and CEO of Innova. He's not just transforming business, he's redefining the possibilities with artificial intelligence. Having mentored of over more than 400 entrepreneurs, 80 startups through his career, Yusuf cultivated an entrepreneurial mindset that disrupt conventional thinking. His leadership empowered more than 150 businesses to tackle complex solutions and build a scalable solution through the implementation of cutting-edge technology. Yusuf merges purpose with innovation, inspiring others to drive change and create lasting impact. I'd like to say hi again to Yusuf and Dr. Rima, and I will start with a question to Dr. Rima, and we will roll from there. From business perspective, how do you see AI trends impact both economic and social change, particularly in the term of job creation, skill development, and overall social well-being? Can you share a specific project you have worked on where AI created significant impact or a social impact or any impact that it really changed lives, changed societies? Rima, the floor is yours.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me, and salam everyone, and hope salam and peace will be for every countries now because of this kind of difficult situation. And really our prayers with all of you in Lebanon and Palestine and all the world. Actually, what is a great question to start with, because our main core in Galaxy organization is to empower women and youth in the remote areas and specifically in the refugees camps. And this kind of a question actually from a business standpoint, I do believe that AI is projected to contribute, as you mentioned, more than 16 trillion to the global economy by 2030, I think. And with this kind of 70% of these companies already are willing to contribute with AI operation efficiency and enhance the decision maker. So I do believe that we can highlight to the World Economic Forum that AI will be automation, will create 97 million new jobs worldwide. And while it is at the same time, it will be displacing 85 million jobs by 2025. So I will share my screen to highlight more about our projects with Galaxy and how we impact the community with our solutions with AI and how we use it. So just 1 minute. Okay, you can see now my screen, yeah?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
It's started to be sharing.
Yes, perfect.
If you put the presentation mode.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, as you, this is a small video. We'll make introduction about Galaxy and how we can communicate with AI for the people in the remote area. So just 1 minute, yeah. Yes, actually, when we started with Galaxy, we believe that women and girls should be included more in the STEM industry. And that's why our King Abdullah recognized our work with Galaxy since 2015 till now, and how we impact the main society with integrated more AI solutions with the schools and in the refugees camps. And this kind of prestigious award, it meant a lot for me as well to highlight about AI and how we can communicate with AI and how we can put these kind of services of AI in our main jobs. As you mentioned, Rudy, in your introduction, AI it's connected with the AI and for the fourth revolution industry. So we can highlight more on the McKinsey report that 40% of these kind of jobs will be automated by 2025. And as highlighted with the World Economic Forum, that the future of jobs will be expected to automate and to create 97 million jobs that will be 2025. So we started, to be honest, to collaborate with our ecosystem and stakeholders here in Jordan. So we started with our Ministry of Digital Economy and ICT to train more people and to raise awareness about the future jobs. And we started as well with the global partners like Alibaba, and we have signed this kind of ceremony, MOU ceremony with Alibaba Global at GITEX Dubai last year. This kind of, you can see the smile of our trainees when they took their diploma in AI and how we can upskill their skills in the technology in general. And I do believe that we can make this kind of technology to be affordable for all of people. And as you can see here, this is real training inside the refugees camp Zaatari for Syrian refugees in Jordan. And to highlight that Jordan is hosting the highest percentage of refugees in the Middle East. So we barter as hand by hand with the AI to highlight that, as you mentioned, that expert with globally will be generate more income with AI, and we expected that more than 16 trillion will be coming to the economy by 2030. So we started with the main future jobs for the people here in Jordan. So we started with robotics and how we mentioned that robots, it will be automated for the schools, for the healthcare, and many of these kind of things. And when we started with this, we go to big data and how we analyze with this kind of data, and we have it for our government. Then we put tools of AI like virtual reality and augmented reality inside the camp and inside the remote areas, the schools, to enhance the simulation of learning journey for these kind of refugees kids. And as you can see here, the simulation with simulation journey with the virtual reality, it's meant a lot for them to enhance their learning journey. For Galaxy, we have powered AI, as I mentioned, AI skills program for the future that we have already trained over 6,000 young professionals in Jordan, Egypt, and even in the Middle East for the advanced digital skills, preparing them for the new roles of AI and ethicals, AI and coding, data analytics, and software development. This initiative not only upskilled their individual, but also helped to create more than 3,000 jobs in local and international market. When we go to the social impact for Galaxy as well, we go directly to the how we use 3D printing and how we use it to update this kind of utilizing AI with provided affordable custom prostheses for these kind of children and adults who have lost their limbs in the conflict of war. With this kind of initiative, when we put it in the camps, it was the first thing that we have it done in refugees camp in Zaatari and Azraq in Jordan. And actually, within the first 6 months, we have set up 3D printing labs in 5 refugees camps across Jordan. And these labs are equipped with the AI-driven software that scans the patient limb condition and generate more personalized prosthesis design in under more than 2 hours. It will be done, and the cost, it will be more affordable for these people to be this kind of optimize the shape and optimize the weight and the material to ensure a perfect design and functionality while reducing the for them to make and to come to the normal life. So far, we are making this kind of AI-powered 3D limb initiative to make it a real example for these kind of emerging technologies, to use it to transform lives for these kind of people in the most challenging environment, making healthcare and advanced prosthetics accessible to these who need them the most. As well, we know that the drones is used by our work, but we have this kind of initiative, how to code this kind of drone and how to design it in Jordan. And really, it is very important when the COVID lockdown coming in the past period, we used this kind of drone to make healthcare and to go to the refugees camps and make this kind of hygiene for the camps. So a lot of AI, we use it as success story in our work in Galaxy. And then we make it sure that AI in education and economic growth, it will be making a tangible difference for them. So at Galaxy, we developed a customized solution called Education AI Empowerment Program. We use this kind of AI driven personalized learning platform to support refugees, students in Jordan and Turkey and Lebanon, to equip over 3,000 these kind of students with AI-powered tablets and laptops to adapt this kind of individual learning style, resulting that 50% of improvement of test score and 70% they coming back to school after they drop the school. So this kind of effect of how to use AI and the tools of AI to empower these kind of people, it's very important to use it and to highlight it.
So we're talking about the nice social aspect of helping. If you don't mind sharing your last slide so that we can keep track on time.
Yes, actually, we all the time keep tracking and how to use AI. As you can see here, the Jeffrey Hinton coming to the potential AI risk for using AI, and how we can the most thing that we have afraid of it is like automation and to secure job loss. And the main things I think that they highlighted from Jeffrey Hinton, that the deepfakes, it will be a very difficult things that we have to make it, especially now of the wars in news and the fake news that we have it. And even for the election, for the US election, it is very important to highlight these kind of things. As well, you know that we can talk about the potential AI risk from the AI perspective, that privacy, it's very important, the danger to human, it's very important, and how to make a lack of transparency of AI, it's very important to highlight it as a potential AI risk. As you can see here, we can use AI in very difficult situation. In Turkey and some of our farms here in Jordan, they use the virtual reality for the cows to make their milk very high quality, and it is very important for their mental health as well. So I do believe that the future belongs to those who prepare it from now, and I do believe that technology will do a lot of things in social impact, and it will be transforming lives for people. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rima, for your presentation. I think it was super beneficial. I'll jump to Yusuf. Yusuf, you can share your slides, and if you want to start immediately. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Just a second. Okay. So is my screen visible? All
Yes.
good? Excellent.
It's
So
not full. It's not full screen.
it's not full screen. Let me double check. Is it getting bigger?
Yes. Yes. Now it's good.
Okay. So thank you for having me here. I'm the founder of Innova Solutions. Thank you for the introduction, Rudy, and thank you for the overview you gave. AI is certainly taking a role in every aspect of our lives, whether it's on a personal level or on a corporate level, on a business level. And today, I hope to show you some of the things we're doing and how we can help you redefine possibilities with AI. So at Innova, we aim to create immersive experiences to personalize all aspects of the digital journey with AI. So when we're talking about digital journey, we've built an ecosystem that empowers you through consumer engagement. It helps you streamline operations, and it gives you deep intelligence onto your data and things like that. So when we talk about consumer engagements through our ecosystem, you can build tools like personalized websites, link in bio, chat agents, interactive AI talking agents, AI-powered recommendations, AI search, document search and asking documents. In terms of streamlining operations, you can create collaboration tools, you can automate workflows, you can train and deploy AI based on specific knowledge bases. So if you want to do employee training or employee handbooks to go in and ask. And in terms of intelligence, I believe everybody has touched upon big data and how valuable it is to have AI in every aspect of your data. So you can ask your data and it will give you informed questions. You can do predictive analytics. And this is what, it's not the future anymore. It's real, it's here. So today, what can you create with us? Again, mobile apps, you can create websites, you can create any tool and deploy it anywhere. In addition, you can embed anything into it. So if you have a custom store that you want to embed your products or your services, you can do that. If you want to integrate it with any tool, you can also do that. I'm going to take you a bit into the solution and what's happening in terms of the tools we're deploying and the features within our ecosystem. So today we have templates. We have over 50 templates that you can start and work from. So these templates include website creators, chat agent creators. They include also sorry, somebody's knocking at the... Okay, so YouTube analytics, YouTube analyzers. We've talked about a lot of those. So you start by selecting a template. And when you select the template, you can then start customizing it and training it on your knowledge base, integrating it. In addition to the template, you can create custom workflows. So you can integrate multiple tools at the same time in order to have the AI do things on your behalf. So you're creating your own agents that are technically your employees, and you can deploy them to do anything. In addition, we have several integrations. I think we have also over 50, maybe 60 integrations. These integrations are with tools like GitHub, like Google Analytics, Gmail, anything basically. We have the core functionality in there. In addition, we are LLM agnostic. So by LLM agnostic, we mean that you can use any LLM for the best output possible. So there are some LLMs that are good with text generation. There are some LLMs that are good with imaging. And there are other LLMs that are good with analytics and analysis. So you choose the LLM you want to put based on the use case that you're developing. And definitely, if we don't have a tool that exists already in our current library, you can create a custom tool. So let's say you want to create a code generator in order to support you, or if you're a coder, or if you want to create a reviewer bot or an agent, you can do that, give it the objective, and it will help you review the code. Now, a lot of the times we're asked about what about data security, what about data privacy? So our solutions are deployed either locally without any internet needed. So we deploy the LLM with our ecosystem locally, and then you can start building and pushing out tools to your environment. In addition, we can do hybrid deployment. And when we talk about hybrid deployment, we can have a remote server with enough compute power, and you will be accessing it from your computer, from your laptop, anywhere. And definitely we can do cloud deployment, and we've done several SaaS applications and standalone applications that run on AI. Definitely, one thing we care about is data residency and security. We make sure that our application can handle siloing the data and separating the data, because a lot of problems also come out when you open up AI to all your data and give access to all your ecosystem. So we're very good at that as well. Now I'm going to take you into some specific use cases of how we use the technology and how we made an impact for our clients and for our partners. So here is a restaurant called Lebanese Taverna. They're based out of the US. They have around 20 branches in the US. Definitely they provide Lebanese food. And what we did is we built a client engagement agent. We trained it on all their data. We integrated it to several different tools like OpenTable, Google Maps, and so on and so forth. And today you can ask this agent any question, either by writing a text or by voice. So it's very accessible as a tool. This tool it allowed us to increase engagement by 30% on the website. So people who came to the website, the bounce rate decreased a lot, significantly. They were able to ask questions and get to the knowledge they need directly. In addition, it increased reservations through the website by 120%. So they were missing out on reservations, except through third-party tools and through calling. Now they could directly book through the website on OpenTable. So we were able to track that metric and put it. And the next steps we're going to do with them is integrate them on several social channels like Instagram, Facebook, even on WhatsApp, and have the same functionality of the agent on there. So this is in the case of a client. Now I'm going to show you a transformation of a whole application or a whole solution. So today, Vici is a video and chat app product. So basically, it runs a video for 5 to 7 seconds. After the video runs, there is a chatbot. And the chatbot that they were building was a classical decision tree chatbot. It took between 3 and 5 days to build the chatbot based on the decision tree, based on what knowledge they wanted to put in it, what integrations they needed. With our tool, we were able to reduce the creation of the chatbot from 3 days to 1 minute. So as long as they have all the info, they just upload it, they personalize it, and they're good to go. So you can imagine the optimization level. Like, instead of having a team of 3 to 5 people working on building a tool for 3 days to a week, now one person can make hundreds of these per day. The next steps with them, we're going to be developing, we're going to help them develop rich media ads and help them develop proper analytics in order to A/B test and integrate with multiple ad platforms. So I hope I gave you a glimpse of what could be in your industry, and I hope we can hopefully one day, like, if you have any questions or if you have anything, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yusuf. I'll leave you, Dr. Rima and Yusuf, to answer the questions that popped up in the chat on a side note. So please hang on with us and then do answer those, and I will be answering also myself. I'll leave it back to our MC. Joel, please take over. I don't know if you want to have one last question. or we don't have the time?
Yeah, I believe we're running a bit late. So thank you very much, Rudy, and special thanks to Rima and Yusuf for sharing such inspiring AI stories and the different applications across various aspects of our lives, as you just mentioned. As we move on to the next session, I'd like to remind participants to submit their questions in the Q&A box. Our second session, the pivotal role of government in AI advancement, brings together three experts who will delve into how governments are shaping the future of AI. To moderate this session, we have the Global Digital Policy Lead from ICC headquarters, Timea Suto. Nice having you, Timea, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Joelle, and thank you and congratulations to colleagues at the ICC Centers of Entrepreneurship and ICC-ESCWA for bringing us all together today. Good morning, good afternoon, colleagues from wherever you're joining us today. As Joelle said, welcome to our second session. We will focus today on a very critical topic that is really rapidly evolving in the digital landscape, the role of governments in advancing artificial intelligence. As we all know, and as you've seen also in the previous session, AI is really undeniably one of the most transformative technologies of our time, and it has the potential to revolutionize industries, reshape economies, solve some of the world's most pressing challenges, really. However, as we've seen, the full promise of AI can only be realized if we forge those policy systems that actively enable and foster the innovation that is capable to be realized through AI, while also ensuring that the AI systems that we use are trustworthy, are responsible, inclusive, and beneficial to all of us. So in today's discussion, we'll dive into how governments work to create such policy environments to foster AI innovation, be it from partnering with the private sector to adopting AI in public operations. And we'll also look into the need for international cooperation in AI policy to avoid the risk of fragmentation and ensure that AI systems are interoperable and aligned with our shared global values. To explore these questions together, we have three speakers, as Joelle said. They are experts at the intersection of AI, governance, and policy, and they bring each a unique insight into how public and private sectors can collaborate for impactful outcomes of AI adoption and regulation. So let me introduce them really quickly, and then we'll dive into the questions. We have Dr. Nibal Ilevi, Acting Director of the Statistics, Information Society and Technology Cluster at ICC-ESCWA. Dr. Mona Demaidi, Dean of the Faculty of Digital Sciences at the Arab American University and developer of the AI National Strategy and AI Ethics Policy in the State of Palestine. And Dr. Hani Ayad, Executive Director of the Innovation Support Fund under the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt. So without further ado, thank you to our speakers for joining us today. And let me start with a few questions to them. First with Dr. Ilevi. What are the key findings and recommendations from your report that you've recently launched on how emerging technologies are driving digital transformation in public institutions? And what lessons from the Arab region and global case studies stand out according to your research? I know, Dr. Ilevi, we have some technical difficulties with the connection, so I hope we will all be able to hear you. Joelle, back to you to see if this works.
Okay, I hope so. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the invitation. I'm checking if it's fine.
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay, very good. Okay, I do have a presentation, but I'm not sure that it will be shared because, of this technical issue. But let me say that, okay, my intervention will be on AI for enhancing a public institution. And in fact, this intervention is based on some publication that we have published recently on the title of the publication was the role of emerging technology and innovation in enhancing the effectiveness and decision-making in Arab public institutions. In fact, based on this publication, which is available online at our page, I think then there are in fact many items where AI will help a lot public sector in improving their operational and their interaction with citizens. The first that we have identified is the enhancing internal operation within the public administration. And of course, this process for enhancing cooperation will affect very much the efficiency and effectiveness in the government. There are many examples where, there is enormous number of examples where it was used as a tool for enhancing effectiveness. We took some example from international community like Sweden, where the AI is used by company registration office in order to facilitate the interaction with company, and the AI tool was able to sort 60% of incoming emails based on key phrases, and thus the treatment of this email was more efficient and more effective. In Australia, it was used, for example, by the Department of Environment and Science, and it was used. I implemented a machine learning tool to map and classify land use within the country for better response to natural resources, disaster, in fact, for reducing costs. There are some other examples that we can identify. There is, for example, an example in the US. Where it was used by the Department of Veteran Affairs. And there was, the claim that comes to this department was really very huge. And then it was the AI system was used, and the AI tool was used to transfer data from paper claim to the management system for thousands and millions of the claims that was received by this department. And in fact, what is important is that there was a kind of efficiency and the classification was very, very appropriate by the AI system based on the detection. AI also used not only in developed country, but it is used also in Arab country. And for example, here we have, for example, in the UAE have developed recently AI strategy, and AI is developed in many sectors, and it is used in many sectors in the UAE and the different the departments of the public sector. For example, it is used by the transport sector in order to optimize traffic management and enhancing the efficiency of urban mobility. Then it is used by there is big initiatives in UAE for AI-driven smart city, which is really, very important for enhancing the urban development and the urban management in the UAE, as well as the AI is used for urban planning and resource management. This is, then UAE is using intensively AI in many sectors, in many government sectors. In Saudi Arabia, for example, and based on the Saudi Arabia vision and initiative for AI, then one of the examples where it is very much used is the public health sector, and in this sector, in fact, not only Saudi Arabia, in other countries as well, AI is helping a lot the administration in public health sector. And for example, AI is used to enhance disease surveillance, and it is helping in predicting and controlling the potential of outbreak. AI is used as a chatbot. There is a lot of chatbot, as we know, in many departments in the government to facilitate the interaction between the government and the citizen in different areas, including the health sector. And we know that during COVID, for example, it was largely used. The chatbot was widely used to respond to the and to the request of citizens, which were, very, very, very large in volume, that was not able to be treated by human during this critical period. Another area where we identified that AI could be used for enhancing public sector is to design service, for the design of service and the delivery of services. In fact, with using it in this area, it will government to citizen. And then, in fact, there was a lot of examples. And today, in the 67 of OECD countries are using AI through the delivery and the design of public services. It is not only in developed countries, but also in some Arab countries where AI, for example, is used in Tunisia for managing the citizen request and the automation of routine tasks in public administration. Then they are in Tunisia is quite developed e-government services, and then there is a lot of interaction with citizens to know their requirements. And here the requirements, the management of the requirement of citizens, in fact, it takes a lot of time from the government. It will be done manually. Therefore, I mean, the AI is really critical for for summarizing the request from member state, from citizens, and to identify the most important area where the government should work on. Tunisia is also focusing on AI-driven analytics for decision making within the government agency, and then it is also the important item. See some of the slides on the screen, but I think now we are moving to slide 6. If you want to follow my speech, then in slide 6 this is another area where the AI could also be used very much. It is for the risk detection. And then AI is used in many countries for risk detection, and thus it will help for increasing transparency and accountability. For example, in Estonia, it is used by tax and custom board, and they test AI to identify the incorrect the refund submission. For example, for tax detection, to detect the correctness of information, they use AI very efficiently. In France, for example, it is used by the Ministry of Interior. There is the AI tool to automatically detect fraud in vehicle registration and certificate. And this is very important because, I mean, in tax and in all taxation system, AI now is being used as a tool to detect any mistakes or any error that are made by citizens when they submit their data, either by on purpose, they may send some not correct data either on purpose or either by error, only by mistake. Also in this area for increasing the transparency and accountability in Egypt, for example, in our region, AI is being used in public administration to streamline services such as tax collection. And here also it is the example. Then this tax collection and tax detection is very known application now for the use of AI to reduce the potential for human error or corruption. In addition to that, in Egypt, AI-driven data analytics help the Egyptian government to assess the performance of public services, which is also very good. In fact, assess by how people or how the employee are working and responding to that request. Another example where AI are, it is urban planning and not only urban planning. Urban planning seems to be very good for the use of AI, but also, I mean, AI is used to support decision and for support enhanced decision making in the government. So, to planning and also for infrastructure projects, and then optimizing the allocation of services of the delivery of services.
Nibal, I'm very sorry. I think we're losing audio. We can't hear you anymore.
that is done in the general bureaucracy that affects very much the performance of the government. And then here, with the use of AI tools, we can reduce the bureaucracy and this system. Also, it is used by Jordan for urban management. These are some where the AI has already demonstrate its value in the public sector, and where it's really very important that it showed that it is very important for enhancing effectiveness and the government operation, either internally or for the interaction with the citizen in a way or another. I want to highlight at the end of this short intervention, I would like to highlight some results of a survey that was made in the OECD country, in fact, not in the Arab region. But it was general because the survey was made for 120 experts globally. And then they were, estimating how the AI will change our life in 3 domains. Or if it will change, then the question that was asked to expert were if AI will help in accelerating scientific discovery. And the second was if AI generally will increase economic activity. And the third was about the AI helping in the progress of SDG. And on the slide, if we are in the last slide of the intervention, we can see that, the percentage of the response of the expert vary between developed or high upper middle income countries and those countries which are lower or lower income countries. Then, of course, the AI today, and I think in the near future, it will be mainly used will be very much used in developed countries, in high and upper middle income countries, while it is still at its infancy stage in other countries. And here we see that, for example, 24% of people say that it is already accelerating scientific discovery today, while in the 24% for the developed country, while it is 9% for the developing countries, let us say, if we can say that. For enhancing the economy activity, in fact, we can see that 32% of the people, of experts, say that it will enhance this economic activity within the coming 3 years, while in the coming 3 years, it will affect only 19% in the developing countries. And if we look at the percentage about the progress on SDG, in fact, if I take the example that in the developed country, they say that 24% that it will affect the progress on SDG within 10 years, which is a little bit pessimistic. And while it will affect 42%, they said that it will affect SDG after 10 years in the developing country. Then I think here also the message is that there is variation among countries. However, today, as we are speaking, AI has a lot of effects in many countries and in many institutions in public sector. And I want to thank you, and I'm really sorry for the connectivity issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. This really painted a good picture of how AI is used in the public sector within the region and also worldwide. And we also see the ripple effect this has on the economy, but also on just incentivizing other sectors, the private sector and citizens to be used to the systems and technologies and then implement them themselves within their operations and be more comfortable with their use. Just continuing on this line of how governments can help boost AI innovation and the deployment of this technology, we'll be looking at setting up national AI strategies, and we'll continue with Dr. Mona Demaidi, who worked, as I said before, on developing Palestine's AI national strategy. Dr. Demaidi, how can governments foster AI innovation while ensuring ethical use in your experience? And what were the challenges and opportunities that you've encountered in the process of setting up Palestine's AI national strategy?
Thank you. Thank you so much. First, I would like to thank all of you for having me on board today, and I'm looking forward to have a fruitful discussion with you. So I'll be sharing the slides from my side. And I'll start by saying that one of the main challenges that governments usually face, and I could speak about the Palestinian case, is the lack of data. So when we started talking about the AI national strategy and AI and ethics, we didn't know what's happening on ground. Like we kind of have an understanding, but we didn't have the data to start taking the decision. And from here, like the way I started helping them out is to understand, what do people know about AI? Where do we stand in terms of AI on ground? What kind of ethics and policies are we working on? So in the slide we're seeing in front of us, it was much more us asking more than 500 people, like, what do they know about AI? Do they know about the opportunities and risks? Are they aware if like the implications that AI has in terms of human rights, privacy, racism, equality? Have they ever been involved or aware of the risks in terms of AI, in terms of teaching, education, climate change, SDGs, and all of that? And what we noticed is that the awareness was super low at that stage. However, in parallel, what we decided to do, if the awareness is very low, so what kind of components do we have to address in this society? So we started having interviews with the private sector to understand more, what do they think about AI? Are they even adopting AI? And if they're adopting AI, are they taking into consideration the ethical part in terms of bias, decision-making, and all of that? And we were actually not surprised that much that only 4% of the private sector companies in Palestine adopted AI at that stage. And most of them, they purchased the AI systems. When we dig deeper in terms of asking them on, so if you purchase the system, how do you ensure that the decisions you like the system is taking is ethical? And what we noticed that they were not even addressing that kind of level. It was much more than purchasing the system and adopting it into their system. That was for the private sector. Then we moved to the educational sector, because we know, like, in order to kind of understand where we're starting in terms of AI and ethics, education is one of the huge pillars we have to address. And what we noticed in Palestine is the number of tech graduates is super high. It's super trending now to study technology. We're having more than 15,000 students in the past 4 years coming out from these tech programs, and have like more than 50% of them, they're actually females. However, when we started digging deeper into the programs that these tech students are actually taking at universities, we noticed that AI is not even represented. We're talking about, if I remember right, only 6 educational programs across universities, and 5 of these programs, they were master's level program. We asked even these students more. So if you're taking AI courses, why are you taking them? Is ethics one of the topics that actually covered? What kind of applications and practical projects you're having? And what we noticed that they all came back to us saying the practical side is still minimal. Ethics, we're just taking ethics much more as knowledge base. We're not actually knowing how to kind of start playing with the data sets, ensuring the equality, no bias, and all of that. And all of that kind of gave us understanding. We went then to the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we did private education and entrepreneurship. And what we noticed in the entrepreneurship sector, that there was a lot of red alarms going up there. So for example, in Palestine, we have around 100 tech-based startups. We're already having an issue of females' participation in the startups. So the only 15% of startups are led by females. And when we start digging deeper into which of these startups are actually applying or developing AI, we noticed that most of the startups, they are in the fintech field. That was one thing, and which does make sense in Palestine, because in the previous 4 years, most of the donors programs were focusing on fintech. But when we asked more about if they're adopting AI, how many of these startups they have actually females in the senior level? And the shocking percentage was 0%. And from an ethical point of view, that's actually super alarming. We have to ensure that kind of equal participation. And from here, we started looking how the government could help. So I do believe the first thing that governments need to have is to have a clear strategy and vision. And that's what we came out in terms of Palestine. We wanted to ensure that we know where we're going in the upcoming 5 years. And one of the main pillars of this this clear strategy was capacity building. So we wanted to actually have a numeric goals that we could achieve in the upcoming years. And we wanted also to ensure that like this kind of numeric goals could be mentored and evaluated. So what we said is that if education is an issue up to now, we need at least in the upcoming 5 years to have 300 graduates specialized in AI. We want 100 people specialized in different like domain expert things. In other words, when we did the studies, we noticed that, for example, a lot of the medical health institutions in Palestine, they started kind of in the digitalization process. However, they don't have expertise which could understand medicine with AI. So what we aim to do is to encourage universities to start opening like multi-sectorial programs. That's one thing. And the other thing, to have 100 graduates coming out of these universities. I'm glad to say, by the way, like after the strategy was published, we noticed a huge increase in the new specialization orbit at the universities. However, it's still very early for us to assess the quality of such programs and the output of such programs. We already wanted also to ensure that the startups are kind of integrating AI, understanding what AI is. This is from the governmental aspect. So we aim for 30% of the startups to be to adopt AI, and we also wanted the private sector to be aware of what AI is and how it's improved. So we did a kind of threshold to have 10% of our private sector companies adopting AI. And that was the first part, which I believe for us, it was the straightforward part, even though we know that we're going to be having some kind of challenges in terms of monitoring evaluation. The second pillar was, I'll say, one of the most challenging pillars that we aim to achieve, and we know that we're going to be having a lot of challenges on that. So when we were doing the strategy and the policy for Palestine, we wanted to actually interview and talk with experts who have that kind of knowledge about law and technology. And it was very difficult for us to find such expertise in the ecosystem. And it took us some time to know what we have to do. So what we aim to do within like from the governmental point of view is to ensure that in the upcoming 5 years, we have at least 20 people specialized in laws and regulations, which has also kind of technical background in such a thing, because we know that to move forward, that's a huge challenge we're going to be facing. And when we started also studying the laws and regulations in Palestine, we noticed that there is no laws and regulations up to now which keep pace with trending technologies. And we know that's going to be a challenge, specifically, especially with also the political situation we're going through. So like, I'll say these were the main challenges we're facing. And the final part we focused on and the whole clear strategy and vision was to invest in infrastructure. So we know, like, in order to have solutions based on AI and to provide services, also GovTech services for the public, we need to rely on data. And in Palestine, we already have an open data PS platform, which was an initiative that started in 2019. However, if we look at the existing data in the platform, most of the data, it's much more like analytical data. It's not a data that we could use or entrepreneurs could use to come out with services that could benefit the public. So what we did, we aimed to have around 50 data sets uploaded in this platform, and these 50 data sets should not be random. They should be actually based on a good understanding of what let's say pillars we have to work on and what kind of data and sectors we have to address. So I'll say the challenges that like I faced personally is the limited infrastructure and resource. I didn't have enough data, even though like the government was very keen when we started working on the national strategy and ethics to have a national team, which included all ministers, a representative from the private sector, a representative from the academic sector, plus the Minister of Justice to be part. However, it was very difficult for us to, at the beginning, to kind of understand what we have to focus on, what sectors we have to address, who should we get involved. Lack of expertise was a huge challenge, especially in the laws and regulations. And that takes us to the ethical and regulatory gaps. The laws and regulations were all reviewed. We kind of have now suggested improvements to the laws and regulations, which we're looking forward to amend and have an output in the upcoming months. And the third challenge I faced was the public awareness and trust. And I think that led us to start thinking out of the box in terms, how could we make the public more aware of AI, and how we could encourage them to actually be part of the AI and to have more awareness about the ethical aspect of it. So what we started doing, we started even having workshops with women in business, private sector companies, governmental sectors, decision makers at the private sector, because we wanted them to understand more what is AI, how it could be adopted, and all of that kind of was part of the challenges we faced. In terms of opportunities, I'll say, and I'll end up with this slides. And so what I'll say is, in terms of opportunities, we're seeing in the past 1.5 years, a huge shift towards AI in Palestine and AI in ethics and AI in regulation. So we've been working on a lot on the programs, which includes the government, private sector, and the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we could encourage them to come out with AI-based solutions that has a social impact and that takes into consideration the ethical aspect. So we've been talking about a lot of hackathons, boot camps taking place, and which I'm very proud to see on ground. And the other opportunity, I'm saying that we have to start looking at international cooperation more. So we as Palestinians, we've been working a lot with internationals in terms of adopting programs, bringing expertise, but I believe we have to do much work in terms of exposure and in terms of improving our ecosystem in AI. I'll stop here and I'll be more than happy to receive any further questions later on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights here, and I see the trend of like what the government can do to embrace AI technology itself, and then what can they do to then move that sort of spirit into the private sector, into the public awareness. And through that, how we can actually improve what the government is doing itself, because then if your citizens are aware, if your industry is using it, then you can get that feedback and move forward together. So we're going to stay on this topic of collaboration with industry, and we'll turn to Dr. Hani Ayad on his insights from Egypt. Dr. Ayad, if you can tell us a little bit about how Egypt is creating a more conducive policy environment for AI research and innovation. And what role do these partnerships with the private sector and international organizations play in advancing these efforts and goals? So over to you, Dr. Ayad.
Thank you, Tima, and thank you for all previous speakers, which whom already highlighted what's maybe, let's say, the current situation or the current state of AI on practice. Actually, in Egypt, we have already the national AI strategy, which goal is making an Egypt or positioning Egypt having a global leadership in the AI hub, especially for the region. But when we go into the practice of AI applications, we will find that like we are working in islands. As a government working from one side, have an international policies to be adopted for the, let's say, the local practice. But from the other side, the individuals and the private sector. And as Dr. Mona mentioned many times about the entrepreneurship ecosystem, which is the more alignment with the AI application, we will find they are on the other side, they have their own practice, and at the same time have their own challenges, which not being yet addressed by the governmental sector on the right way. But if I'm going to the part that the government is supporting now, they it's the educational sector, because here in Egypt we could find some colleges are more focusing on academic degree, bachelor academic degree in AI, in addition to a postgrad certificates in AI, in addition to have many diplomas that's working within the private sector as well. So from the, let's say, from the educational side, we can see that we took already an step moving forward to have an graduates at the upcoming years. I think the colleges that already applying or that already having another undergraduate certificates or degrees already graduated the first batch this year. So I think on the market, we could find whom already equipped with the educational practices in AI. We could find them on the marketplace in the upcoming months. But what's we needed to be taken into consideration in these parts, especially the exponential development and the exponential growth in the AI sector and its applications. It's need to be taken into consideration even in the degrees provided, because we know very well in our regions that the development in courses and material developed or provided for the students, even undergrad or postgrad, it's a bit harsh to be developed year by year. And whom are in depth in the research of AI, we could find in a dramatic change maybe in few months or few weeks, not by years. So these also need to be taken into consideration. And building on what Dr. Mona Dr. Rima mentioned in her presentation, that already AI application already started to be in practice in let's say the new cities or developing the new cities, the healthcare sectors, the agriculture sectors. So we have already in practice in many fields or many industries have an AI application. And on the other hand, Egypt developed the guidelines for the ethical AI development, which focusing on what's related to privacy and accountability. So that's also need to be more into public dialogue, as Dr. Mona mentioned in her presentation. We need to be more aligning with make the alignment between the public practices and the governmental initiatives, because here I can see the big lack on the governmental level. Have already trying to be aligning within a global practice and positioning Egypt into a regional and a global position. But once we are going to the individual practice and the public practice, they are asking the government to have these initiatives and policies. And I can see that the linkage between the governmental practices or governmental initiatives and policies and on-ground practices from individuals, that's need to be having a kind of clear harmonization between what the government do and what the public needs. And here is this linkage that need to be more let's say we need to be more aligned between both of us. I think that's not only the case of Egypt, but through let's say friendly chats or not an official one, we could see that the same situation in the regions that are surrounding us. So I think by applying or such platforms or such forum that led by ICCWA, I think we can bring together what are the pros and cons of these kind of applications on ground, and what fits more our culture or our public culture, because we are bringing and localizing international practice, which is perfect in our situation. But when it goes to be aligned with the culture or the publics, that need to tackle new techniques to handle these issues. And thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. I mean, I as I was listening to you, I was writing some notes of like, how can really we work together to keep up, right? Keep up with what is happening in the private sector with innovation. How can we keep up with the global and international standards? How can we keep up with keeping our students up to date with these new developments? And how can the government really work together with these various stakeholders, including international partners, including the private sector, and including the universities, to find solutions to move all of us together in the direction that then we set for ourselves together. So thank you very much for that enlightening presentation. We've had a couple of questions for a second round, but I see we're running out of time. So I'm just going to ask our speakers to stay engaged in the chat. We have a lot of questions and input also from the people who are listening to us. So if you have a moment or two, look into some of the questions, try and answer them in the chat. On my side, I'm just going to thank you again for making the time and being here. Thank you to colleagues at ICC and ICC-ESCWA for putting this panel together. And I'll hand over to Joelle to pass on to our last session. Thanks everyone for being here.
Thank you, Tamia, and to our distinguished speakers for your valuable insights on AI and government leadership. As Tamia mentioned, and due to time constraints, we may not be able to address every question live, so we kindly ask all our panelists to respond to any unanswered questions relevant to their area of expertise. Now we move to our final session of the day, and in this panel, we'll explore the crucial role the private sector plays in advancing AI. Our speakers on this panel are from Bahrain, Lebanon, and Morocco, and moderating this discussion is Karim Hassan, the Executive Director of the ISCWA Technology Center. Karim, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Joelle. And yeah, good afternoon and welcome to the final session of today's interesting event on the private role in AI investment and ecosystem development. As artificial intelligence continues to shape industries, global private sector plays a pivotal role in AI adoption, fostering innovation and creating the environment for AI-driven ecosystems to thrive. Today's discussion will focus on how the sector is investing in AI, collaboration with governments and industry associations, and also contribute to the overall development of the ecosystem. We will also explore the challenges and opportunities that arise in building sustainable AI ecosystem and how strategic investments and partnerships can accelerate progress. We are very fortunate to be joined by a distinguished speakers who are at the forefront of these efforts. We have in our panel Osama Bukhari, a dynamic entrepreneur with extensive experience in banking and leadership in technology-driven ventures. He will offer insights on how the private sector AI adoption in Saudi Arabia's digital transformation and the role of industry like the ICC are playing in this progress. We have Lara Al-Khouri, the programs at Beirut. She has been an instrumental support startups in Lebanon. She will share how Beirut is helping entrepreneurs use AI to innovate challenges faced in building a sustainable AI ecosystem. Also, I have my friend Afif Barhoumi in entrepreneurship and investment promotion at Unique ITPO, and their offering will explore how the private sector can collaborate to foster AI innovation, particularly in like Bahrain and across the Arab region as well, and the countries. We have Tariq, a leader in entrepreneurship development in Morocco. He will speak about the level of AI to enhance the skills of entrepreneurs and the initiatives underway for AI-driven growth for Morocco's entrepreneurship. With such a wealth of expertise, sure that our conversation provide valuable insights into how AI investment and ecosystem development can fuel economic growth across the region. So let's dive into our discussion today. And also, I know that we have lots of internationals attending this webinar, but also I'd love to hear some Arabic يعني كده speaking and Arabic language in panel as well. فالباب مفتوح للمتحدثات والمتحدثين للتحدث باللغة العربية أو بالإنجليزية. So it's up to you to speak in Arabic or English. We will start with Osama.
Karim, Osama is not with us at the moment, so please go ahead and move to the next speaker. Thank you.
تمام. Then we have Lara El-Khouri. You, Lara, your work at Beirut focuses heavily on supporting startups and entrepreneurs in Lebanon, particularly through technology-driven initiatives. So, in your work at Beirut, how are you supporting startups and entrepreneurs in Lebanon using AI, and what are the key challenges you have seen in building a sustainable AI ecosystem? The floor is yours.
Thank you, Karim. I firstly want to just acknowledge the pain that Lebanon and the region is going through, and again reiterate that we're against any forms of violence with everything that's going on. Going back to entrepreneurship and seeing how innovation can actually leverage all the challenges, everything that we do at. So at Beirut, we do support innovators. While AI is not our primary focus, we are actively creating awareness about it and around its potential and encouraging startups to explore AI-driven innovations. How are we doing that? We are raising AI awareness. So we are integrating AI challenges into our outreach activities, such as hackathons or ideathons that we have with the entrepreneurs to spark curiosity and inspire entrepreneurs to think more about how AI can enhance their solutions, how it can help the startups understand what AI offers, what it takes to integrate into their existing business models and potential new business models. We are also working with these innovators in order to think of and suggest on how AI tools can integrate, how they can leverage these AI tools and platforms to improve their efficiencies, optimize decision-making, or add value to their products. So when they introduce these AI tools early on, we can help them explore how it can be applied, even if their primary focus is not pure AI development. And we really want to look at focusing on real-world challenges. So we want to emphasize how to use AI to solve practical problems, especially in sectors like agri-tech, clean tech, fintech, all types of technology. It doesn't have to be only AI-driven focus for software. So we encourage the startups to experiment with AI for real-world applications. We help them foster innovation, and that is both impactful and sustainable. And throughout our work and the work that we've done with these innovators, we often realize that AI solutions often need to be adapted to the local context to be effective. So we emphasize the importance of localized AI, whether it's language models that are tailored to Arabic and its regional dialects, or AI solutions built around the specific challenges that Lebanon and the region faces in agriculture, in waste management, and clean technology. So for example, if we're talking about agriculture, we might focus on the indigenous trees and plants that are focused in the region, because some of the language and some of the data that's available is more what is focused in the Western world. So we encourage these startups to focus on these And once they localize these this AI development, we ensure that they can have a meaningful impact with the region while having the opportunity to scale globally. So yes, we do understand the relevance of localization, but we also do not deny the fact that we are in a region where these startups need to scale beyond their local geographies as well. Now, I've said a lot of things on how we encourage them to do them, but there are challenges that come with this. So these challenges fall under different categories. One of them is limited AI awareness and expertise in Lebanon, at least. So while people are in the early stages of understanding AI, there's a general lack of understanding or awareness of how it can be integrated into existing solutions, and not just about building things from scratch. So we aim to build this gap by continuously educating and exposing these entrepreneurs to the potential through the programs and initiatives that we do. And then there's another challenge linked to access to data and tools that I think that was mentioned by another panelist before. So AI often requires robust data sets and specific technical infrastructure, which can be challenging for early stage startups in Lebanon because they face limitations in accessing the necessary tools and computing power to experiment with AI effectively. And then looking at the talent and skills. So there is growing interest in AI, but there is a shortage of local talent and advanced AI skills. So yes, we do have some basic AI skills, but looking at advanced AI skills, and specifically when we benchmark against the more advanced countries with more advanced AI. So this is why we are looking on how to connect the entrepreneurs to experts of programming that can help. And like everything that comes in entrepreneurship, there's a big focus on funding and investment. AI innovation requires significant investment, specifically in R&D. And many startups find it difficult to secure the adequate funding to explore AI-driven projects, making it hard to scale AI solutions as fully fledged AI solutions. So we're trying to see how we can spike interest more on the investor side and link that to potential opportunities here. Now, it's not all looking grim, so there is some advancement happening here. And we've supported several startups that have integrated AI and they've used AI to make it more impactful. Two of these examples include Luxeed Robotics, which is a startup that uses smart lasers and artificial intelligence and agricultural machinery to identify and eliminate weeds with high precision. So they are focusing on onions, and with the use of AI, they are identifying the weeds, and then with the use of laser, they're using that to remove the weeds. By doing that, they will eliminate the need for herbicides, so that this technology will then promote healthier soil and has the potential to increase the farmers' yields, to promote organic and sustainable farming practices. Another very successful startup that we've worked with is Nadira. Nadira is a social enterprise that has an engagement platform powered by technology to help the communities recycle more and recycle better. So one of their services is an in-house developed reverse vending machine. So where the users come in, put their recyclables, and accordingly, there is an AI technology that assesses what is the waste that is being put into this reverse vending machine, and in return, in real time, they get points into their app. These are some of the solutions that we are working with, and we truly do believe that the entrepreneurs can leverage AI into different sectors, not just software, but in ag tech, clean tech, and a lot of these sectors. I think Rudy also tapped on that in the first initial conversation.
That's very insightful, Lara. Thanks a lot. It's fascinating to see how Veritech is overcoming some of the unique challenges, especially in terms of infrastructure and talent retention. The need for long-term sustainability is so critical in building these ecosystems, and the work that you are doing in Veritech is beyond Lebanon, to be honest, it's going all over, and we see the impact of it on the region. We are partnering up with Beirut on projects and initiatives, and we are proud of this partner. Thanks a lot, Tiala.
Thank you.
And now moving to, and with your extensive experience and investment on entrepreneurship development across the Arab globally, like the work of your office is going beyond 50 countries. So you have a perspective, I believe, on collaboration between the public and private sector. How can governments and private sector collaborate to foster AI innovation in Arab countries? And which is emerging as a key in the region and on global economic stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Karim. Thank you, everyone. And I also want to thank ICC-ESCWA for inviting us to be part of this discussion. If you allow me, I will share my presentation.
Yes, please.
Hopefully, we will not lag. Okay. So by the time technology doesn't fail us, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so by the time technology doesn't fail us, I would like to just highlight, a few things on, the issue of AI in the Arab region in developing countries, and I also believe this is also true for Africa region. Generally speaking, AI is a completely new technology globally. Even globally. This is still an issue. This is still something work in progress. We hear a lot of things happening, things developing. When it comes to, I don't know why I lost the.
Yeah, reshare it again.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Hopefully.
Now we can see it.
Okay, so when it comes to the Arab region and Africa, I believe now we have a lot of know-how being spread about AI. We still lack the skills of AI, and I can give you so many examples of so many universities and countries in the Arab region and Africa that have went about saying, AI Academy, AI Institute, AI, whatever you want. But how much of it is really practical, much more than just, know-how and AI does this and AI does that. Okay, for this is a question that has to be addressed, especially when, when we're looking at UNIDO's regional role, ESCWA's regional role, ICCI, and, ICC and so forth. For this is one thing, and this will help me build up the presentation. So now, if you look at AI, I'm not going to go into this. Sorry, I have no idea. Technology is failing me today. My phone is talking by itself.
But we can hear, you, and we can see your presentation. So
okay,
there is no interruption here.
So when it comes to global, impact, this number has already been shared. If you look at healthcare, we're looking at saving 150 billion annually by 2026 when we introduce AI. Finance is reaching a value of 1 trillion with AI. When it comes to retail, AI will increase retail by 60%. Manufacturing, we're looking at cutting costs, improving productivity by around 20%. Transportation, it will save around 190 billion. In the agricultural sector, which my friend and Lebanese fellow, Ms. Lara, mentioned about, agriculture, energy, we're looking at saving 200 billion. Education, it will reach 54 billion. If you remember COVID, everybody was studying physical. In 6 months, 70% of world students were studying online. The fast forward from physical to virtual education used to be 5 years. And I remember many people used to say, you know, in 5 years, you will study online, you will not need to go university. With the COVID challenge, universities, schools around the world converted from a physical to a virtual. It took them 6 months maybe. So accordingly, this, you know, fast transformation is taking the world by storm. When it comes to the orange economy, which represents around $1 trillion annually, the engagement of users will increase by 20 to 30%, which means AI is everywhere. And I'm not going to talk about AI in military use, especially that Joël is coming and being hosted from Lebanon, and what AI has done into that field. Now, for us, we strongly believe that to embed and adopt AI, you need to have an ecosystem, which is very similar to the entrepreneurship ecosystem, which is mainly based on women and youth. Because these are the people who will pick up these new technologies. Those who are already established, they're doing well, they're doing fine, they don't have an interest in AI, they don't care about AI. Those who are young, those who are youth, those women and youth will be the people who will really pick up and create the change in AI in this region and in developing countries. This includes, you know, the support, the regulatory framework given by the government through the line ministries. And as you have seen, it covers all sectors. So it's not, you know, it's not a high level decision. It has to come from the different ministries to embed and use and adopt AI technologies. NGOs, entrepreneurship institutions, financial institutions, investment promotion agencies, the chambers of commerce, incubators, accelerators, R&D experts, universities, schools, education. So the whole ecosystem has to be really geared towards adopting AI and working on AI, each within his own scope of work. In the case of Bahrain, in 2022, the government launched the National AI Strategy 2030, and the Digital Government Strategy was also launched. Bahrain being a financial hub, you know, for the region, which accounts to 19% of the Bahrainis' GDP, the Central Bank of Bahrain has a daily value of sukuk transactions only per day is around $80 million, which means Bahrain is really a financial hub. So accordingly, Bahrain focused on fintech, you know, and realized that since we are the leaders in finance, we need to invest heavily in fintech. Accordingly, Fintech Bay was established. Those who know the Bahraini ecosystem know about fintech, you know, the Fintech Bay. There's a sandbox that was developed by CBB. There's the digital finance advice on how to help banks go into AI and adopt new technologies. Digital AI transformation strategy is also part of the CBB. And then the Supernova FinTech Challenge is one of the challenges that is, you know, really strongly close to the heart of the Central Bank of Bahrain. When it comes to the private sector or the public-private sector, we have the Bahrain FinTech Bay, we have Brink. Brink is an accelerator that was developed by Batelco. Batelco is the biggest mobile operator in Bahrain, and they have other subsidiaries around the world. So accordingly, there is a strong, you know, drive from the government that went down to the different ministries and organizations in the country, and then now is feeding up into the grassroots level. Today, a recent report said that Bahrain government services, 70% are online, and the usage rate reaches around 90%. I can tell you frankly, being in Bahrain, being Lebanese living in Bahrain for the past 22 years, we rarely see any public servant. We don't. Everything is done online. You renew your car insurance, your, you know, your tickets, your electricity, everything is used on one app. Even for an accident, you report it online. There's no need to go to anyone. There's no need to call traffic police. You just simply take a photo of the accident, put it on the app, send the details, and then it's done. The Bahrain, through Tamkeen, which is the SME fund of Bahrain, has supported the development of private sector incubators and accelerators. Today, we have roughly around 20 to 25 in different sectors, different fields. And I've realized recently that we have 3 or 4 that mainly focus on AI, and the development of AI and the support to AI's entrepreneurs. Now, one of the main things that helped Bahrain really in this digital transformation was the Amazon Web Services established in Bahrain in 2019. This triggered the whole, because AWS, when they came in, they said, fine, you have a good ecosystem, good infrastructure, but this is not enough for us. We need regulatory. And so this created, this flagship Amazon Web Services created the whole ripple effect within the full economy and the government's direction. For us, we develop entrepreneurship programs. Many of our entrepreneurs rely on technology. Many of our entrepreneurs are trying to embed technologies. The entrepreneurship programs we run, we started in Bahrain in 1999. Today, we implement in 54 countries around the world. So what we are trying to do is to bring in these technologies, these new trends in entrepreneurship, in innovation, in technology to all our entrepreneurs on a global scale. One of the flagship programs that we developed with Intel is the e-entrepreneurs.org hub, which is a virtual platform to provide all the necessary information, counseling, networking, whatever. It's a full entrepreneur and innovation platform. So those who have an interest, they can look into it. I will finish here, and then on the second round, I will continue my presentation on that regard. But one or two few things I would like to stress again. I know Polytechnic in Bahrain, they have an AI academy. I know that many of the schools, public schools, are being supported by UNIDO, by our office, to develop incubators within the school, whether it's private school or whether it is public school or whether is it a vocational school, all of this will increase the awareness, will increase the know-how, but we strongly believe that this is not enough for the Arab countries to pick up on and say, we are developing AI or we are embracing AI. Okay. Thank you.
شكرا يا عفيف. Thanks a lot for your point about the importance of the support that UNIDO is providing through its office, ICPO, and the amazing work that you are doing and the frameworks that you develop and following up on the work that you guys are doing for several years. And it's fascinating. And for sure, Bahrain seems to be very well positioned in the region as one of the key leaders in AI and digital transformation. And I've seen that there are several initiatives nowadays, and also with the support and partnership UNIDO, they are establishing AI institutions, which will collect a lot on the region capacity development and technology transfer and as well. شكرا فيك. Now moving to Tariq from Morocco. Tariq, your focus has been on fostering entrepreneurship and skills development in Morocco. Given the rise of AI, there are opportunities to enhance the skill sets across the entrepreneurial ecosystem. فحابين نسمع منك شوية على المغرب والجهود اللي بتعملوها في دعم الذكاء الاصطناعي والأعمال عن طريق الوزارة وعن طريق تفضل يا طارق.
شكرا لجميع المنظمين ديال هذه الندوة الرقمية القيمة. وشكرا أيضا لكل المتدخلين اللي كانوا قبلي واللي غيجوا من بعدي أيضا. تنظن أنا الأخير ولكن مازال متدخل من بعدي أظن. شكرا للحضور الكريم، شكرا أيضا للحضور الكريم. قبل أن أبدأ العرض أسجل تحفظي أو رفضي، يعني رفضي يعني الخريطة التي كانت على السلايد في العرض الأخير. يعني أتمنى منكم أنكم التعديل ديالها، هذه نقطة أساسية اللي خاصنا نشيروا لها في هذه المناسبة هذه. بداية يعني غادي I will share my presentation. يعني اليوم يكون الموضوع هو الذكاء الاصطناعي كشريك لريادة الأعمال في المغرب. كيف؟ أولا هناك الذكاء الصناعي في المغرب هو عنده مستقبل زاهر، لأنه عنده من المتوقع أن يشهد مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي نموا هائلا في السنوات القادمة، يعني مما سيؤدي إلى توفير المزيد من الفرص لرواد الأعمال في المغرب، يعني مع تزايد اهتمام الحكومة والقطاع الخاص بالتكنولوجيا الحديثة. ويمكن للأعمال الناشئة الاستفادة من هذه الاتجاهات، يعني لتعزيز الابتكار وتعزيز الكفاءات لرواد الأعمال والشركات وحاملي المشاريع. يعني هذا الابتكار هو يعني ابتكار مستمر، يعني ابتكار مستمر سيشهد مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي فيه ابتكارات جديدة بشكل متواصل، مما سيفتح آفاق جديدة لرواد الأعمال ويمكن لهذه الابتكارات أن تشمل تطوير حلول جديدة تتعلق بتحليل البيانات والأتمتة وتحسين تجربة العملاء. يعني هذا شيء هو أساسي اللي خاصنا نشيروا له. هناك أيضا يعني من بين المسائل اللي يقدر يكون فيها نقولوا واحد الاستثمار كبير هو التعاون العالمي. يعني من المتوقع أن يتزايد التعاون العالمي بين الشركات المغربية ونظيراتها في الخارج، إذ أن الذكاء الاصطناعي يتطلب تبادل المعرفة والخبرات، ويمكن من أن تتيح الشراكات لرواد الأعمال الاستفادة من التقنيات المتطورة. يعني هذه أشياء أساسية اللي كتشكل المستقبل ديال الذكاء الاصطناعي في ريادة الأعمال بالمغرب. هناك أيضا تحديات وفرص. يعني الفرص اللي نقدروا ناخذوا من الذكاء الاصطناعي هي فرص كخلق فرص عمل جديدة في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي، يعني سيمكن من خلق يعني فرص عمل جديدة. سيمكن أيضا من تطوير حلول مبتكرة لتحديات ريادة الأعمال، وأيضا زيادة تنافسية الشركات المغربية في السوق العالمي. هناك أيضا تحديات اللي هي توفير المهارات في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي، توفير الاستثمارات في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي أيضا، وأيضا زيادة الوعي بأهمية الذكاء الاصطناعي. هنا بالنسبة لتعزيز المهارات لرواد الأعمال، يعني هنا كنعرفوا بأن الذكاء الاصطناعي يشكل اليوم القوة الدافعة وراء الابتكار ونمو الأعمال عالميا. وفي سياق يعني دعم ريادة الأعمال في المغرب، يمكن الاستفادة من هذه التقنية المتطورة بعدة طرق، يعني من بينها تمكين رواد الأعمال من تطوير مهاراتهم التقنية، تحليل البيانات مما يتيح لهم اتخاذ قرارات أكثر استنارة وقرارات اللي هي مناسبة. كما يمكن للذكاء الاصطناعي التشغيل التلقائي للمهام الروتينية، يعني لربح الوقت بالنسبة للمقاول أو الشركة أو رائد الأعمال، وتخصيص يعني تجربة العميل أو الزبون. وبالتالي هنا يكون تمكين التركيز على الابتكار وتطوير نماذج أعمال جديدة ومبتكرة. أكيد أن تطوير المهارات التقنية هي أساسية أيضا في إطار تعزيز المهارات ديال رواد الأعمال. هذا التطوير ديال المهارات التقنية يمكنها للذكاء الاصطناعي، يمكن الذكاء الاصطناعي أن يوفرها عبر منصات تعليمية تفاعلية اللي كتساعد رواد الأعمال على اكتساب المهارات البرمجية والتحليلية اللازمة لتطوير منتجات وخدمات مبتكرة. وتحليل البيانات واتخاذ القرارات المناسبة. الذكاء الاصطناعي يدعم أيضا عملية تحليل الكميات الهائلة من البيانات، يعني المتعلقة بالسوق والمتعلقة بالمنافسين، مما يساعد رواد الأعمال على اتخاذ القرارات المدروسة وتحديد الفرص الجديدة. يعني هذا كله يعني فرص اللي كيشكلها لنا ولا اللي كيقدمها لنا الذكاء الاصطناعي لتسهيل عمل رواد الأعمال في المغرب وفي العالم. يعني هذا الشيء اللي هو مما يتيح ايضا لرواد الاعمال التركيز على الابتكار، يعني اهم حاجه يعني التركيز على الابتكار وتطوير مشروعاتهم او مشاريعهم بتحليل سلوك العملاء ايضا والزبناء، يعني الكونسيومر بيهيفير والتفضيلات، مما يساعد الشركات الناشئه على تقديم تجارب عملاء مخصصه وزياده مستوى الرضا لتطوير نماذج اعمال مبتكره. دونك هذه مسائل اللي هي اساسيه بالنسبه لتعزيز مهارات رواد الاعمال عن طريق ولا عبر استعمال الذكاء الاصطناعي. الذكاء الاصطناعي ايضا في الاعمال يمكن كما قلت هذه النقاط اللي اشرت لها قبل، يعني تحليل البيانات، الاتمته، يعني المعالجه التلقائيه للبيانات والعمليات، يعني تحسين الخدمه بالنسبه للزبناء والعملاء وتطوير المنتجات الجديده. هذا الشيء كله كنقدروا بيان سور بالنسبه للمغرب، المغرب عنده استراتيجيه جديده، استراتيجيه سميتها المغرب الرقمي 2030، ولها اهداف استراتيجيه اكيده واللي كتماشى مع الثوره ديال الذكاء الاصطناعي اللي كنعيشوها الان. يعني هذه الاستراتيجيه هذه هي استراتيجيه اللي تكشف عليها النقاب مؤخرا، وهي استراتيجيه غير مسبوقه وخطه طموحه اللي كتمثل اراده غير مسبوقه لتحويل الاقتصاد والمجتمع بعمق، وتعد بأن تجعل المملكة لاعبا أساسيا في الاقتصاد الرقمي العالمي. إذا تحقق النجاح فإن بلدا كاملا اللي هو المغرب يمكن أن يستفيد من ذلك النجاح بشرط مواجهة العديد من التحديات التي تعترض تنزيل هذه الاستراتيجية. هذه الاستراتيجية هي مدعومة بميزانية كبيرة اللي كتجاوز 1 مليار دولار على مدى 3 سنوات، وتعتبر هذه الاستراتيجية واحدة من أكثر طموحا التي وثقت من قبل المغرب، وتهدف بها الحكومة إلى تدريب 100,000 شاب سنويا في مجال الرقمية، في المجالات الرقمية والرقمنة، وتحدد أيضا هدف بتوظيف 240,000 شخص في القطاع الرقمي الوطني. إذا يشكل الذكاء الاصطناعي بالنسبة للمغرب ركيزة أساسية في استراتيجية المغرب 2030، يعني من خلال تسريع الابتكار ودفع عجلة النمو الاقتصادي، ويساهم الذكاء الاصطناعي في تحول عميق لكثير من القطاعات، ومنها مثلا الزراعة، الصحة، الصناعة أو الخدمات. يعني تعدد تطبيق الذكاء الاصطناعي والذي يشكل فرص عديدة ومتنوعة. من خلال هذا الاستثمار المكثف في البحث والتطوير والتكوين، يهدف المغرب إلى أن يصبح قوة مؤثرة في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي في إفريقيا وتعزيز تنافسيته على الصعيد العالمي. الاستراتيجية عندها 5 أساسات ولا 5 ركائز. الركيزة الأولى هي بناء البنية التحتية الرقمية، يعني تطوير شبكات الاتصالات السلكية ولا سلكية، بناء مراكز بيانات، توفير الإنترنت عالي السرعة في جميع أنحاء البلاد. ثانياً، كركيزة ثانية تعزيز الاقتصاد الرقمي، يعني تشجيع إنشاء الشركات الناشئة الرقمية وتطوير الصناعة الرقمية وزيادة مساهمة الاقتصاد الرقمي في الناتج المحلي الإجمالي. ثالثاً، رقمنة الخدمات العمومية، يعني تسهيل حصول مواطني المؤسسات على الخدمات الحكومية عبر الإنترنت، مما يقلل من البيروقراطية ويحسن الكفاءة. الركيزة الرابعة هي الحكامة الرقمية، يعني تطوير الإطار القانوني التنظيمي لضمان الحكامة الرشيدة للبيانات والخدمات الرقمية. والركيزة الخامسة هي تطوير الكفاءات الرقمية، يعني الاستثمار في التعليم والتدريب لتزويد الموارد البشرية بالمهارات الرقمية اللازمة للمنافسة في الاقتصاد الرقمي. بالنسبة لتعزيز النمو القائم على الذكاء الاصطناعي في النظام البيئي الريادي المغربي، يعني بناء بيئة داعمة لريادة الأعمال، يعني تعتبر خطوة أساسية لتحفيز الابتكار والنمو الاقتصادي، وتبرز أهمية إنشاء حاضنات مثلا ومسرعات أعمال متخصصة في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي كأحد الحلول الفعالة. هذه المنشآت يمكن أن توفر الدعم المالي والتقني اللازم للشركات الناشئة، يعني مما يساهم في توجيه تلك الشركات نحو النجاح وتحقيق أفكارها الابتكارية. إلى جانب ذلك، يعني من الضروري كنظن من الضروري بناء شبكات قوية، يعني قوية بين رواد الأعمال والشركات الكبرى والمؤسسات الأكاديمية. يعني هذه الشبكات تسهل تبادل المعرفة والخبرات يعني وتفتح آفاق التعاون بين مختلف الفئات. وهذا يعني يعزز من قدرة المشاريع الناشئة على الاستفادة من الموارد المتاحة. بالنسبة للنظام البيئي الريادي المغربي، حنا كنتوفروا على نظام بيئي اللي هو مهم في المغرب، اللي عنده يعني مجموعة ديال الخصائص، واللي كيساهم في التطوير ديال ريادة الأعمال في المغرب. يعني كاين برامج تبادل، كاين شراكات دولية، كاين مراكز بحث متخصصة اللي هي كتساهم أكيد في تطوير ريادة الأعمال عن طريق الذكاء الاصطناعي. من بين المسائل اللي نقدروا نقولوا في هذا المجال هذا هو عمليه التمويل ديال المشاريع التي ينبغي تسهيل الوصول اليها ولا الى مصادر التمويل من خلال توفير برامج خاصه يعني التي تهدف الى دعم الشركات الناشئه في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي. يعني بمجرد تخفيف العقبات الماليه يمكن لهذه الشركات ان تركز على تطوير منتجاتها وخدماتها. هنايا كتلعب الحكومه ايضا دور اساسي يعني في دعم هذا الاتجاه، يعني حيث يمكنها العمل على وضع سياسات يعني تشجيع الاستثمار في البحث والتطوير وتبسيط الاجراءات وتوفير البنيه التحتيه الرقميه اللازمه لتبني الذكاء الاصطناعي كما يعني قلت قبل بالنسبه لاستراتيجيه الرقميه 2030. يعني مستقبل الذكاء بالنسبه لنا، مستقبل الذكاء الاصطناعي في المغرب يعني مستقبل واعد، حيث يمكن ان يسهم بشكل كبير في تنويع الاقتصاد المغربي وخلق فرص عمل جديده. يعني من المتوقع ان يشهد المغرب نموا متسارعا في هذا المجال خلال السنوات القليله القادمه، مما سيؤدي الى تحسين مستوى المعيشه وتحقيق التنميه المستدامه. لتحقيق الفائده القصوى من الامكانيات الذاتيه يجب على المغرب التركيز على بناء القدرات من خلال الاستثمار في التعليم والتدريب وتطوير الكوادر المؤهله وتسهيل اذا اكيد تسهيل التعاون بين الحكومه والقطاع الخاص والاوساط الاكاديميه، يعني بمبادرات مشتركه عبر اطلاق مبادرات مشتركه في المشاريع الذكاء الاصطناعي ومنصات تواصل، انشاء يعني منصه تواصل فعاله بين الاطراف المعنيه اللي هي الحكومه والقطاع الخاص والاوساط الاكاديميه. وهكذا غيكون عندنا واحد ايكو سيستم اللي هو ايكو سيستم فعال، واللي هو غادي يحاول اللي غادي يعطي القوه لرياده الاعمال بالمغرب. شكرا لكم
جزيلا يا طارق على العرض الشيق. يعني صراحة استمتعنا بالبرزنتيشن قدمتها، كما استمتعنا بالتقديمية لدارا وعفيف. وأنا تابعت شخصيا الاستراتيجية الرقمية الوطنية في المغرب، مشرفة جدا للوطن العربي. يعني جدا اللي احنا نشوف استراتيجية بهذا العمق وهذا التكامل ما بين المختلفة، التعاون ما بين الحكومة المغربية وما بين القطاع الخاص وما بين قطاع الأعمال العام، اهتمام رواد ورائدات الأعمال في المغرب بالاستراتيجية، التفاف حول الاستراتيجية. يعني جدا يدعو للفخر ان عقول عربيه توصلت هذه الاستراتيجيه وحطتها على واقع للعمل المباشر. نشكركم على هذه الجهود وشكرا يا طارق. And for the non-Arabic speaker, I'll make a quick summary before to the last part of this session. Sorry, presentation. Besides the rapid growth of AI in Morocco and its potential to drive innovation, improve competitiveness in the market, while AI creates opportunities for entrepreneurs, challenges as well, such as gaps and the need of investment. Can enhance business operations through automation, data analysis, and personalization, as well as improve entrepreneurial skills through online learning platforms. Tariq also explained the Moroccan strategy, digital strategy, which focuses on digitizing public service, enhancing the digital economy, and building AI infrastructure. To this development, and yeah, he also mentioned that the kingdom signed $1 billion for this, which is very promising. And key to this development of centers and international partnership between the government and the private sector is with an emphasis on ethical AI, including privacy and transparency. So thanks a lot to Tariq for his very insightful presentation. So with implementing this vision. So now we are coming to a round of this session, which will be super short size actually because we are on time. So I'll have a quick round of my distinguished speakers, and feel free to share with us quick, concrete, short message. And I'd like also to summarize some of the questions that we received through panel as well. I'll list all questions to you guys, and then you decide what to answer or your key message that can touch of these. So what's the key? So these questions. What's your key recommendation for promote AI practices in the private, and how and self-regulating industries play a pivotal ensuring responsible AI development and use? Also, how can we rely AI information, and how can we check accuracy and utilize them properly? Data also generated by AI, we can trust this data for businesses and decisions. Also, how far can AI replace human agents in different major tasks as well? So these are the major questions we received, or summary of the major questions we received. So I'd like to hear a quick message. So we start also from Lara and Afif and then Lara, please.
Yes, thank you. So just to touch upon a few things, I think we all agree on the importance of using AI, how to know whether the AI is reliable, what information to use. I think you always have to have the human element. You always have to look, cross-check on trusted sources. If you're looking at like ChatGPT, you can compare that to Claude, to other language models. And in terms of just a high level on the use of AI, the ethical use of it, I think with the advancement of it, we are going to have to abide by the ethical rules of AI. I think that it will self-regulate at some point, but I do always believe that at least at this point in time, we have to keep a human eye on this, validate with secure sources like academic or whatever type of we're using the AI for. And we should always implement robust testing and validation. So before we are deploying AI systems, we should do the thorough testing and validation to make sure that what the AI is giving us is validated, and to establish clear guidelines on how we use AI, when do we cross-check, where do you use it for? And then, you need to always, the same way that you do with everything related to entrepreneurship, you always need to be agile to validate with the market, validate your assumptions, quickly correct, and then move forward. Thank you, Karim.
Thanks, Lara. And Afif, please. You are muted.
Sorry, I share my presentation to finalize my presentation, which will also answer some of the questions. Now, on the issue of AI replacing humans, I remember sometime back, Jack Ma of Alibaba said, AI will not be able to replace humans because AI is not creative. Well, now I used to believe that. Now I'm starting to have doubts. Okay, because if you can see what AI are doing when it comes to research, when it comes to drawing, creative orange economy, and so forth, I think it's a little bit scary. There will always be a human who will program, but I believe there will be a shift in the jobs. You will not, maybe, just a quick example, you will not need a taxi driver anymore, maybe. I know Dubai, Saudi Arabia, they already launched their self-driving, taxis. I think Dubai or Abu Dhabi is launching it in November. So this is one. Now, when it comes to, developing AI, you need, a framework given out by the government, which also highlights, ethics, transparency, monitoring, and what so forth. So this is a very legal component. You also need to have a conducive ecosystem that supports entrepreneurship and innovation. Without that, AI will not, really flourish. It will always remain as an idea. Now, I was thinking yesterday, and I put myself in an entrepreneur's shoe saying, I have a business, let's say, how will I embed AI in my business? So I had a few questions. First I need to know, what do I need to do? Why do I need AI? I need to improve my sales. So I set the target and I start gathering information and data. And by the way, to be an effective AI, you need to have big data. And in developing countries in the Arab region, plus or minus, data is not there. And if it is there, it is not accessible. So in all cases. So one of the hotspots is you need to identify the AI technology available. Is this technology available? Which technology should I use? And who will finance me to buy this technology? We all know, all our entrepreneurs know that they need to, embrace AI. But which technology of AI? How will they embed it within their system? What will this AI do for them? To a certain extent, we lack this expertise. We lack, experts in this region who can really come in and counsel and mentor and coach on these things. I know, like Beritech said, they do that. Maybe in Jordan, Galaxy, they're doing that, but it's not a stream. It's not streamlining these expertise, and then incorporating the AI technology within the existing system. That's a much bigger issue, and then building the skills of the team to work with that AI. So accordingly, these are 5 or 6 hotspots that, generally speaking, in this region today, we cannot always answer all of these questions. Now, what we are trying to do, at least in Bahrain and in the countries we work in, we have partnered with the Shenzhen Federation for Youth Entrepreneurship. Shenzhen is the fastest growing city in the world. It's in China, and it's the main hub of robotics, AI, digitalization. Huawei has the biggest center of excellence there. Apple has a center there, and so forth. What we are doing with them is we are utilizing their technical expertise in AI, smart farming, smart finance, smart manufacturing, to help SMEs and entrepreneurs to adopt these AI technologies. And accordingly, this will lead us to the establishment of the smart entrepreneurship mall, which will be mainly to help and provide, it's like a clinic setup where these AI experts will work jointly with Bahraini and Arab experts on, how to assess the business, what kind of AI technology is needed, where can I source this technology from, where will I be able to get the funding for, and so forth and so forth. We're also doing a similar exercise with CII, Confederation of Indian Industries. We're also working a lot with the Hassan II, Jamiat Hassan al-Thani Casablanca. They have developed a special curriculum, BS, MBA, PhD in business counseling, mentorship, and coaching. And this is something we lack. We do coaching on a personal base. It's not really scientific. We are also partnering with T3 and Takeoff, which usually takes place in Istanbul. There's a lot of AI happening there and a lot of digital technology. So we're taking a delegation of our entrepreneurs who are really in need to be part of that scope. We're also working on Creative Business Network, which mainly focuses on the orange economy, ITCN Asia. Next October 14, we are signing with Jitex Global. through their Expand North Star, because, you know, GITEX is a global event. And then they realized that, you know, SMEs, entrepreneurs from the Arab region and developing countries are not really utilizing and benefiting from GITEX Global. It's mainly the big guys coming in, showing what they have. So they developed North Star. Now we have been asked by GITEX Global to sign cooperation with them so that we can channel in many of the entrepreneurs we have so that they are part of GITEX and GITEX Global. All of these networks, programs, activities, we mix them all up together and we present them usually in the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum that took place just recently. In next year, inshallah, it will be in Doha. And I believe Karim was one of the distinguished speakers, and Ulas was also a moderator of a session in that forum. So thank you very much.
Shukran, ya Afif. And yes, I'd like to reaffirm our partnership and support for the WIF conference, inshallah, that will happen next year. Also, it's a wide invitation to everyone to attend the Arab SME Summit next month in Doha, 18 to 20 November. طارق، عندك ملحوظة أخيرة أو رسالة أخيرة حابب توجهها للحضور؟
كريم، بس اسمح لي طارق، أنا بعتذر منك على الخريطة. I want to apologize على هاي الخريطة. أنتوا المغاربة يعني يعني أول لما واحد يحط خريطة المراكنز are always the first people to jump onto it. اعذرني على الخريطة. We'll change it.
بارك الله فيك، بارك الله فيك. شكرا أستاذ حسن. إذا الإضافة اللي عندي هي بما يتعلق بالأخلاقيات، يعني في استعمال الذكاء الاصطناعي. نشارك معكم هذا سلايد. يعني كاين اعتبارات أخلاقية وقانونية اللي هي متعلقة باستخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي. إذا يتوجب على الشركات الناشئة التي تستخدم الذكاء الاصطناعي مراعاة الاعتبارات الأخلاقية والقانونية بشكل دقيق، ومنها يعني 4 ديال الركائز pillars 4 pillars. يعني أول ركيزة هي العدالة، يعني يجب ضمان عدم وجود تحيز أو تمييز في أنظمة الذكاء الاصطناعي مع ضمان العدالة في المعاملة. هذا بالنسبة للنقطة الأولى أو الركيزة الأولى. بالنسبة للنقطة الثانية هي الخصوصية، يعني يجب أن يراعي استخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي حقوق الخصوصية للأفراد مع حماية يعني لبياناتهم الشخصية، الداتا بيز أو البيانات أو الداتا بيرسونال داتا. بالنسبة للنقطة الثالثة هي مراعاة المسؤولية، يعني يجب تحديد الجهة المسؤولة في حالة حدوث أخطاء أو مشكلات نتيجة لاستخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي. والشفافية، يعني يجب أن تكون أنظمة الذكاء الاصطناعي شفافة تمكن من فهم عملية اتخاذ القرارات من قبل الجميع. وأيضا كنا ذكر يعني مراعاة وضع معايير مشتركة، يعني في القطاع الصناعي مثلا تتفق يعني مثلا الصناعيين يتفقون على المعايير والمبادئ الأخلاقية التي تحكم تطوير استخدام أنظمة الذكاء الاصطناعي. أيضا يعني يمكننا نستعملوا يعني بعض البيست براكتسز، يعني مثلا تبادل أفضل الممارسات للشركات وتتشارك فيما بينها الخبرات والمعرفة، الذي سيساهم في رفع مستوى الوعي بأهمية الأخلاقيات في هذا المجال. ومراعاة يعني تنزيل آليات للمساءلة، يعني إنشاء آليات داخلية للمساءلة وللتقييم لضمان التزام الشركات بهذه المعايير. وشكرا لكم.
شكرا طارق للرسالة الختامية. And thanks a lot everyone for attending this session and your insightful contributions and interactions, and for not having lots of interactions with the participants. Yeah, today's discussion have provided a clearer understanding on how the private sector can be a driving force in AI adoption, and the essential role of collaboration between government, industry associations, and entrepreneurs as well. This session highlights the need for a response to AI practices and building sustainable ecosystems as well to ensure that AI can fully serve as a tool for innovation and inclusive economic growth across the region and the Arab region as well. Thank you again to our esteemed panelists. Shukran, Lara, Afif, Tarek, and to the audience for your attention. Joel, for you to close. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Kareem, and thanks to your panelists for shedding the light on the private sector's pivotal role in AI ecosystem development and the responsible use of AI. And thank you very much for the very spot-on summary that you just gave. So as we come to the end of today's roundtable, on behalf of ICC and ESCWA, I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to all our speakers, moderators, and participants for making this event truly insightful and thought-provoking. Please note that the recording of today's event will be shared with all participants by email after the event once it becomes available. And for those who asked about the presentation slides, we will also share them by email after taking the consent of the speakers. Before we conclude, I'd like to take a moment to share an exciting opportunity with all of you. It was already mentioned by my colleague Karim Hassan. The Arab SME Summit is coming up and will be held in partnership with Qatar Development Bank and the Ruwad Entrepreneurship Conference 2024 under the theme Navigating Digital Horizons. From the 18th to the 20th of November, the summit will take place at the Doha Exhibition and Convention Center in Qatar, gathering innovators, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and business leaders. We invite you to apply to join us before the deadline, which is the October 10. I'll share the registration link, the website, and the email for your questions in the chat box now. Thank you once again for joining us today. Stay safe, stay inspired, and we look forward to seeing you at the future events. Have a great day.